live and on your side. This is WSAV News 3 today at 6.
Good morning, everyone. It is Wednesday, June 10th. I'm Kim Gusby.
And I'm Ben Katko. Thanks for joining us here on News 3 today.
WSAV is your local election headquarters. The Republican ticket for South Carolina governor is heading to a runoff after a tight primary race Tuesday night.
The state's first open governor's race in more than a decade is now one step closer to a November ticket. WSAV's Genevieve Lund is live in the newsroom with more on what we know this morning. Genevieve, good morning.
Good morning. South Carolina voters narrowed the race down to two candidates who will face off later this month. But here in the Low Country, it paints a different picture for the results compared to what other people voted for statewide. Trump-backed Lieutenant Governor Pamela Yvette led the Republican primary for South Carolina governor, but fell short of the majority needed to avoid a runoff. State Attorney General Alan Wilson also advanced, setting up a June 23rd showdown. The race had a crowded field, including Congresswoman Nancy Mace, who conceded her bid and endorsed Wilson. On the Democratic side, State Representative Jermaine Johnson won his party's nomination in a decisive victory and will become the party's nominee.
Momentum is there. I have President Trump behind me. I mean, let's look at President Trump's record. South Carolina is Trump country.
I did not get a slot and win a slot to the runoff. We did. It was you that got us there.
In the Low Country, the numbers told a different story than the statewide results. Statewide leader Pamela Yvette finished first in both Beaufort and Jasper counties, but Alan Wilson remained close behind in second place in Beaufort County. The margin between the two candidates was less than 900 votes. Wilson outperformed Yvette in several other local counties, including Hampton and Colleton. On the Democratic side, Jermaine Johnson still held a strong lead across much of the region. And those two candidates will face off on June 23rd. Whoever wins that will face Johnson in the fall. Reporting here in the newsroom, Genevieve Lund, WSAV News 3, on your side.
Thank you, Genevieve. Coming up on 3 minutes after 6 o'clock, it is Wednesday morning. We are taking a live look from our Savannah camp out over the Savannah River. Storm Team 3 meteorologist Alyssa Carsley is in the Weather Center with our weather on the threes. Good morning, Alyssa.
Hey, good morning, Kim. We're starting off the day with temperatures very close to average. In fact, our average morning low is at 70 degrees, and that's what we're currently seeing as you step out the door here in Savannah. It's warm. It is slightly muggy outside. It's not terrible just yet. That will come over the next couple of mornings, especially over the weekend. Temperature-wise for today, back into the mid-80s by 11 a.m., then back into the upper 80s, low 90s throughout the afternoon. A very similar weather pattern to what we saw yesterday, just adding in just a bit more sunshine throughout the day with that mixture of sunshine and clouds. 91 degrees we're up to for this afternoon here in Savannah, to 92 degrees in Hampton. High temperatures still feeling a little bit more like summer out there, with at least our feel like temperatures climbing back up into the triple digits. And that's thanks to that south wind with high pressure off our coastline, allowing for all this moisture to move in from the south. So those heat index values, they just continue to increase as we head towards the end of the week. We'll talk about that, plus a chance of rain that increases for the weekend coming up the next time you see me in just around 10 minutes.
All right, Alyssa, thank you. The race for Congress in South Carolina's 1st District is starting to take shape after a wide open primary field.
Nearly 20 Democrats and Republicans entered the race to replace Representative Nancy Mace, who was running for governor. Now, from both sides of the aisle, 4 candidates have advanced to runoff elections. On the Republican side, the 2 candidates moving forward are Jenny Honeycutt and Mark Smith. Honeycutt picked up about 22% of the vote, while Smith followed with about 18%.
On the Democratic side, both Mac DeFord and Nancy LaCour will face off in a runoff since neither candidate received more than 50% of the vote. That runoff takes place on June 23rd.
Longtime Republican U.S. Senator Lindsey Graham faced challengers from his own party for the U.S. Senate seat. Graham clears the primary with a decisive win, securing nearly 57% of the vote and avoiding a runoff. His closest challenger, Mark Lynch, finished with about 29%. Democrats, meanwhile, have chosen their challenger. Dr. Annie Andrews won handily, securing nearly 62% of the vote, while her closest challenger, Brandon Brown, finished with a little more than 30%.
Another race to watch is the battle for sheriff in Beaufort County. Republican candidates Doug Seifert and JoJo Woodward were on the ballot there. Ultimately, the race was called for Seifert, who will run against unopposed Democratic candidate Alfonso Small Jr. coming up in November.
It's love for every one of them. They really worked hard. It was a hard-fought battle, but yep, we come a little short.
That's the biggest thing is just listening and knowing what they want, and that really helped me throughout this process.
Meanwhile, back here in Georgia, early voting continues through this Friday for the state's primary runoff set for next Tuesday. On the Republican side of the governor's ballot, healthcare executive Rick Jackson is running against Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones. In the primary, Jones got about 38% of the vote, while Jackson saw about 34%. In the 1st Congressional District Democratic runoff, Joyce Griggs faces off against Amanda Hollowell. The district covers much of the coastal empire, including Chatham, Bryan, Effingham, Liberty, Long, and McIntosh counties. In the primary, Griggs received about 34% of the vote to Holloway's nearly 25%. You can see the full results and continuing updates for both states' races online anytime you'd like at WSAV.com/electionHQ.
Breaking overnight, Savannah police are investigating after reports of shots fired in the area of the Publix on Abercorn Street. In a Facebook post, District 6 Alderman Curtis Pertee says 3 people who know each other have been apprehended. We're told it's an isolated incident. Meanwhile, if you have any information about what happened, you're asked to contact Savannah Police.
We have some new developments this morning as we're learning more about the soldier accused of firing shots at Fort Stewart on Monday. Army Sergeant Christopher Dandridge is under arrest after officials say he fired a gun near Engineer Road at Fort Stewart, setting off a brief lockdown. He faces multiple charges, including aggravated assault, domestic violence related offenses, and other counts. No injuries were reported. That investigation is still ongoing.
We have a positive update in the search for Walker. That's the dog that went missing after Sunday's house fire on Jones Avenue on Tybee Island. Officials say Walker has been found on Little Tybee Island after a drone operator with Tybee Island police spotted him. Now the focus is on getting him home safely. The city is working with Chatham County Animal Services and Traps to plan a careful rescue, saying Walker is scared and in a remote area. Officials are also asking the public to stay away from the island. Crews say they remain hopeful Walker will soon be reunited with his family.
Meanwhile, the city of Tybee is asking for your help collecting gift cards at City Hall to support the Simpson and Galbranson families after that fire Sunday. Donations can include gift cards from grocery stores, restaurants, gas stations, home improvement stores, and other major retailers. Those cards can be dropped off during normal business hours at City Hall on Tybee. That's on Butler Avenue.
Happening now, a new point-in-time study taken from May of this year shows the homeless population in Chatham County has decreased by 62%. Jermaine Ray with the Old Savannah City Mission says he has noticed the drop in unhoused individuals looking for help at his organization, which offers resources that allow homeless men to stay at their location for 90 days while they find a job and permanent housing. Jennifer DeLong with Chatham Savannah Authority for the Homeless says resources like this have helped to bring that number down.
It is the collective effort of SPD's Hope Unit as well as the Community Service Response Team in City of Savannah using therapeutic disruption to try to encourage the long-term stayers that are unsheltered in our community to connect to services.
According to DeLong, the count is considered trend data and it tells officials about their homeless response system. She says the number of people who can use resources and end up living in their own homes is 76%.
A proposed wastewater treatment project in Liberty County continues to draw strong opinions from residents there. The Liberty County Development Authority discussed their plans last night for a new water reclamation facility and expansion of its reuse water network in eastern Liberty County. The proposed facility would be built in the Tradeport East Business Center and initially treat up to 1 million gallons of wastewater a day. Residents questioned the project's potential impact on marshes, rivers, and marine life, while officials stress that environmental reviews and evaluations are still underway. Officials say they'll continue gathering public input before bringing any final recommendations back to the board.
9 minutes